We've been married 8 years and together 10. We met in college first as partners. We felt we had a particular, lovely link because of that, but only I did. My spouse started a new job. Being shy, she struggled to fit in, but with my guidance, she established friends with a group of single, divorced or dating but not married girls. Initially, I was glad she had found friends, but then she started going to parties, drinks, and anything her pals planned. I tried to talk to her about her behavior change, but I didn't want to limit her. It changed how we made love. My wife didn't like dating, yet she was often exhausted or moody from being out. Finally, her firm recruited a boss my wife and her friends liked. She briefly mentioned him, then discussed how he handled non-work issues. She dismissed my concerns when I asked about her involvement in this guy. She inquired if I regretted not dating more women. I told her I only needed her. I thought she seemed upset, but she shifted the topic. She suggested open marriages to spice up our marriage. Surprised because my wife isn't open about her sexuality and has never been this way. First, I said no. She denied any connection to the new boss. Instead, she claimed she thought she missed out but didn't want to lose me, so this was better. After asking if she was playing with fire, I grudgingly and naively accepted. We established rules. The most crucial was that no one else could sleep in our house. My wife dates and one-night stands with that employer for a year before suddenly dating him. However, I had a few dates but never a one-night stand since I thought they were wrong. While asking if I was okay, my wife didn't change her behavior. I recognized my love for her, the glorious, pure innocence of marriage, was on, and it was killing me. I dated a stunning South Korean immigrant to the US. Conversation was simple. Her humor and grin could make anyone forget their difficulties in an instant. We went on several dates till we were close. I had sex with no one else like this woman. Who knew women could be so sweet and make you feel so wanted? My wife initially thought it was cute, but after a few months she questioned my relationship with my lover. She had the idea and knew my boss, so I told everyone. She didn't speak despite appearing to want to. She started coming home early to clean and serve me dinner as a reward. She started feeding me at work and making out in the bedroom. I would have been happy if she hadn't told me about our marriage, which I'm partly responsible for. I ended it when she wanted to get close. I died for my wife, and she did too. I inquired about her alteration and its cause. She said she wants to show me she loves and enjoys me. Though I didn't mean to, I laughed. I inquired about her few acquaintances, boyfriend who works for her boss, and one-night stands. She didn't respond that day. She cried herself to sleep. The next day, she's waiting for me at home. She said she wants to break up. It was a terrible mistake, and I'm sorry. Please make us the center of our relationship again. I asked her to tell me what began it all. It surprised me that her sexually active friends came up with the concept, and when her manager saw it, he accepted her lifestyle and told my wife to live freely. It appeared to be emotional. After publicizing the marriage, it became sexual. That improves everything. She likened it to driving drunk and fast. It was thrilling, but the cost prevents her from choosing. She understands she didn't need to compare us since we were distinct and special. She believes she ended our marriage and our opportunity for a life together. She cried when I told her I might never see her as my wife again. She sobbed, so I held her and kept quiet. She slept in my arms on the couch. After that, she resigned her job, cut ties with her friends and boss, and told me she was ready to spend the rest of her life making amends and trying hard to be a wife. I've kept talking to my beloved. Simply said, my relationship makes me feel like a man who can conquer the world. My wife hasn't done this in years. I have no idea what to do. I'd love to feel that way again, but my sweetheart saved me at my worst. I need help. I nearly forgot to mention our first marriage counseling session. Not sure what'll happen next. The therapist was friendly and educated. She appeared fair and willing to help. Despite our first meeting, my wife seemed to explain everything. She said this group of pals made her wonder whether she missed her chance because she was bound to her first partner and had never been with anyone else. Her travels were fewer than those of these remarkable women. Remember that none are married and some are divorced. Different ideas may and frequently do affect a marriage, the therapist informed us. My wife agreed, and she claimed that when her new boss approached her, Some of her friends advised her to study more about herself. She felt horrible, so she didn't do anything physical until one of the divorced women offered an open marriage, saying it strengthens some couples. Though difficult, she convinced me to marry. She began her journey. Dazzling but lackluster. It wasn't the kind we've built over time, and she wondered why. Though she saw my pain in my eyes, she convinced herself it was simply an experience. She said she could never reconcile with herself, her chance to have fun. She didn't realize what was happening until she felt different about me. She felt dating would help me understand and accept her predicament. My life altered when my sweetheart started visiting more often. I seemed to smile again for no reason, and my eyes lit up whenever I got a text or cheerfully left the room to answer the phone. She mentioned feeling a pit in her stomach immediately and having frequent panic attacks for no cause. She approached her friends again for help, but they said it was usual to feel that way on vacation. After the divorced friend who suggested it stated, "It looks like his lover makes him happy," she recognized how true it was. His wife almost fainted because he may have been happy with someone else. They told her she shouldn't have married if she couldn't take it. She urged them to help her win me back despite knowing how stupid everything was. She immediately realized that these people were detrimental for our marriage and our lives together, so she has been trying to bring me back. I didn't say much, but I told the counselor about my boyfriend issue. The counselor said we would never discover an answer as long as my lover was involved and suggested we meet again after tomorrow. The counselor claimed it was unusual for someone to stay with her so long and that any storm could be managed. She probably wants us to succeed like her previous clients. I'm sorry for the long post, but I wanted to convey everything. Thank you for your messages. I'm still figuring out how to link posts. I apologize for not responding to all your emails and letters. So far, this is what we know. Many thanks for your ongoing assistance. It's been Jerry Springer-like. I live in my brother's flat and pay incredibly low rent. I declined his offer to let me stay for free because he owned houses. My wife's conduct and her dangerous business practices are revealed here. Like some Redditors, I asked similar queries in our second therapy session. 1. If she knew there was no physical contact before their marriage. She begged me not to make her talk while staring at the ground. She insisted telling us would ruin everything, but when pushed, she confessed they touched themselves in front of each other. This idiot informed her it wasn't cheating because they were just staring at each other's beauty without touching. Her shaking and hyperventilation while she screamed and apologized astonished me. The snot was flowing from her nose. Even the counselor was astonished. Looked shocked. My wife apologized on her knees, hugging my legs. 2. He altered her mind, so I asked what. She alleged his conduct towards her changed when she left the group. She passed his office one evening after leaving a meeting and heard him chatting about her with another man. He said acquiring her was extremely easy and that she proved you can't trust quiet people. His coworker inquired if he liked her. He claimed she was a nice escape and he wouldn't break up with his girlfriend, so he could vent, he claimed. He wanted to stay with his girlfriend since she was the only one who understood him. Though he felt sorry for me, he said, sleeping you lose. My wife committed herself because she saw that this man saw her as meat and set me up for a cheap thrill. Her job ended and she puked in the parking lot. First, she asked, "What have I done then? Please forgive me, I am deeply sorry." 3. I then asked her if she loved him and when she stopped loving me. She cried, looked me in the eye, and said she would always love me, making matters worse. He was also different, she claimed. She now realizes that wasn't love. She grabbed my arm with tremendous force and told me she realizes she done wrong but misses us and our former life together. We should split off and start afresh, as intended. I then told her that wasn't fair to my boyfriend and that I needed time alone to process. When she heard that, she appeared to be yelling. She cried harder and mumbled incomprehensibly. I felt like I was going to disappear as she hugged me. The counselor and I took time to calm her. The counselor suggested having time apart to improve. I wish I could conclude this report here, but I had to pack when we came home. My wife received a PC video call. A former acquaintance cried. It happened. Shortly after my wife left, this friend and the manager started dating, but her pregnancy scare made him act like Dr. Jekyll. The fact that she had a promising boyfriend made things worse. She simply had a fling because she was interested. Funny that it's trending. Her boyfriend saw an email she and the manager exchanged regarding her pregnancy. The manager claimed she baby-trapped him. Naturally, he left her, and she called her because she thought my wife had saved our marriage and needed help. I turned left and am in the flat. Change 3. The odd things my wife did and how they made us feel. I'm determined to move forward despite some events. First, thank you to everyone who reached out and gave advice, a comparable life story, or a listening ear. It matters. Many things have happened. The former friend lost a pregnancy due to stress at losing her boyfriend and being ashamed by the affair. She went insane, causing the boss problems. She connected him with his fiancée and top managers. Facebook let me find his fiancée was keen. She is the epitome of a lovely small-town girl. It states she teaches special needs pupils and likes being home with her family. When I saw him, I thought, what the hell is he doing messing around with other women when he has her at home? I don't understand why men like him date women like her. The previous friend contacted me. She wanted me to tell her what happened to prove him wrong. She liked doing it in person. Both she and I underwent COVID testing. I concurred. I saw her face and realized she was hurt. Dark circles beneath her eyes and a crimson iris showed she hadn't slept and was overthinking. She thanked me for meeting her and apologized for joining my wife's trip immediately soon. She contacted my wife again. That's when she learned I left. Her reason for meeting in person? Because she wanted to accept responsibility and not blame others. I thanked her for her efforts but wondered why she went so far. She said losing her child and love altered her entirely. She stated looking in the mirror makes her nauseous and she can't sleep because she sees her ex's face when he found out. This woman disliked herself, therefore the encounter may have punished her. She says that since getting to know coworkers outside of work is illegal and he was in a position of power, he will likely be fired and barred from the profession. She accepts that others could say the same about her. She departed and apologized after hearing my story. I wanted to collect some old house items when my wife wasn't around. Even though she shouldn't have been there, I was surprised to see her glancing at many of our wedding photos on the coffee table. I noticed her crying when she saw me. When she hugged me, I softly resisted. She didn't offer me food because I stated I wasn't hungry and wouldn't be long, just needed a few things. She said she had something to show me before I started. She showed me a harsh message from her old supervisor from 2 days ago on her phone. He used a new number when she stopped his old one. He was furious that my wife helped her ex-friend spread the word about him. Chump Lady and Marriage Builders inspired her. She believed sharing the truth would change its impact and give us a chance. I told her it wouldn't change our relationship, but I was delighted she was brave. I also told her we would no longer counsel couples but independently. She cried quietly and said she understood. I should be glad it was done or irritated it took so long. I'm indifferent to her. This rarely happens, so I want to discuss it in individual counseling rather than married counseling. My brother advised me to consult a divorce lawyer for safety. My wife seems to know I'm not ready to battle for this marriage. Before leaving, she wanted to get near, but I declined. After I responded no, she got irritated and questioned what my partner does for me that she can't. Can the lover supply what the wife can't? The neighbors must have heard her loud speech. She said she would do anything I requested as my wife. I shook my head and told her our marriage was finished if she couldn't tell after everything. Amazing, your wife now realizes how her behaviors affect others. Despite the sadness, she would do anything to change her past mistakes. That's not how it works. You can be with someone better if she improves herself, but not you because she ruined her life. She will always remember you and regret her actions. That's more than most of us gained from blunders. Have fun.